So listen, this is going to be a part of a series of videos, but we just going to get straight to the build up so I can get to the point. So as a man, this is an epiphany that I had somewhere about 10 years ago, somewhere in the 2010s. If not 10 years ago, something in the ballpark of 7 minimum. But when we talk about men and what's supposed to make a high value man and just a good man and all of this stuff and just a virtuous man, just you hear a lot of messages about what you're supposed to be and stuff like that. You hear, yo, you gotta do 80 push-ups, you gotta help the kids at the youth center, you gotta be a good role model, you gotta be a philanthropist, you gotta get a bum to $5, you gotta jog around the block, you gotta cut the carbs in your diet. You hear all this stuff. You gotta treat your wife well. You gotta open the doors for all women of all types and stuff like that. Pull out seats, open doors, car doors, all that stuff. You hear all types of stuff about what a man should do, what a man should be, and all of this stuff, even in the high value man conversations. Oh man, if you got discipline, oh man, if you are a status leader and da da da. We talk about all that shit, right? What I came to realize when it comes to men, embrace yourself because this is going to sound crass because it is. When it comes to men and when it comes to women, when they judge another man, and I never did a video on this, when they judge another man, the two main things that they look at to determine a value of a man boils down to, does he get money and does he get bitches? That's it. That's it. That's where it starts, and even for some people, that's where it ends. Now listen, as a black man, I know this is for sure how people are looked at in the black community and how they're valued as far as men. This goes for men dealing with other men and women dealing with men. Let me break this down for you real quick. If you have a pack of male friends and you were in your 20s or you were even like 18, and even then, the thing about this is this even extends to people in their 50s. Just look, and I'm so serious. I'm not joking. This is not me being funny or facetious or anything like that. This is a lot of men. We're going to start with money. We'll just start with money because that's easy. When men look at other men, if you make a lot of money, men respect you more to some degree. Even if the respect isn't there all the way 100%, there's usually some admiration, or in some cases, some guys are very spiteful. They may hate you because you make money, but regardless, most people are going to look at you as some type of valuable because you make money. People want to know, as far as guys, what you do. Because if they're going to be around you, if they're going to hang out with you, you got to know what a person does. For example, if a person is a drug dealer, for somebody like me, being around them will be a detriment. Because it's possible that I could get caught up in a shootout that I have nothing to do with. So that's just one thing. And for me, that would be a safety thing. But typically, if you're around people, you want to know what they do, right? So when people find out that certain people make money, they call dudes big money or, things like that. And I'm guilty of this to some extent. I'm not about to get on this channel and lie. And just to go and give you some examples of this, if you watch Paid in Full and you see Money Making Mitch, he's known around the community as Money Making Mitch. Ace is his friend, and it's like, everybody loves this cat because he get money. That's a part of his whole identity, him getting money. If you look at somebody like Dan Bilzerian, he checks both boxes, but the thing that people like about him, especially the kids and stuff, they like that he's always in some place extravagant. They like that he has a big house. You could say the same thing about the Tate brothers and stuff like that. You know, when you see certain guys living a certain lifestyle and all that stuff, like it inspires other men value it. You know, if they could be a part of the experience or they could like that's just what it is. If they could get some of the motion, if they could get some help, if they could get anything, even if they could just say that, yo, yeah, I know this guy. And it could be anything from, yeah, man, he the biggest pimp on the West Coast all the way to he is the CFO of Virgin Records or something like that, or Virgin Airlines, whatever the case may be, something like that. Men value being able to say that somebody in their network, somebody that they're associated with, makes a lot of money and possibly has a lot of status. So we will leave that there. That should be very easy to understand. The other thing is going to be easy to understand on the other end, which is the women. When it comes to guys, when it comes to guys, I'm talking about, bro, if you are 14, when you were 14, you listening to this as an adult male, when you were 14, all the way to when you were 21, and if you're not married or never been married, definitely still happening in your 30s, other guys are going to want to talk about girls. That's what it is. They're going to want to talk about the chicks in proximity. They're going to want to talk about who they are fucking. They're going to want to, you know, and this is the thing. A lot of guys are inclined to say what motion they got going on and stuff like that. So you may even say, bruh, yeah, I was fucking with da 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 da, or yeah, I had this one chick, Castle Exchange, war stories, etc., etc. Dudes will say, especially when you're in that, you know, that 21-year-old pocket, like the early 20s, where the hoes at? I'm trying to go on a mission, trying to go on a two-man. What's up? You could where the bitches at? You got the bitches? Shit, I could call too. We could get some, bruh. I got funny stories, man. Like, and this is the thing. This is like, not because the first thing, like all the money stuff, like I did a bunch of black culture examples. Like this is universal. It doesn't matter where you come from, what walk of, like what culture you could, bruh. Like dudes are trying to get on bitches. Period. Point blank. And the more bitches you got, or the badder bitches you got, the more admiration you get from guys. That's just what it is. So I'll give you a funny example of how like people be in their 20s and stuff like that. This cat might have been 30, but I was like 22. We at the job, man. You know, this one chick is having a party. And this dude, he's supposed to be throwing the party at the crib. And he's like, yeah, man. Me and Buddy got the bitches, man. You better come through. And it's a white party. I'm at a white job. And this dude, he's saying, yeah, man, I got the bitches, man. The bitches is coming through, man. Be sure to come through. You won't want to miss it. I got all the bitches coming through, man. I got hella bitches coming through. And granted, this guy, he's slaying some shit at the job. He's slaying some shit at the job. And I'm like, word, okay. Blah, 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 blah. Man, we get there, man. It was embarrassing, man, because it wasn't no bitches there, man. It wasn't no bitches there. So he was talking like this is gonna be a banger. I'm like, bruh, like, where the bitches at? You said it was gonna be bitches here. Where the bitches at? So after that, I'm like, oh man, this cat. I can't listen to him, bro. We can't even make no type of move with this motherfucker because like he talking about he got the bitches. You ain't had no bitches come through. I didn't ask you if the bitches would go. You just told me. You was telling everybody you was gonna have the bitches. But that's one of those things. Like as far as how dudes operate, it's very simple. Well, first off, let's go to the judging. 50 Cent said you could tell a lot about a nigga by his bitch. Now, let me rephrase that for non-rap fans and people who don't understand. You can tell a lot about a man by the woman he is committed to or the woman that is with him. Meaning, if he is with a bad chick, he has to have something going to have that bad chick. He might have a lot of money. He might have a lot of confidence. He might get a lot of other babes and stuff like that. He might be just a cream of the crop male all the way around the board if he's got a bad chick. Now, if he has a very below average chick, you're gonna judge them like, oh, this kid, like, you really don't got nothing going on, or you don't got no game or something. Like, why would you settle for that? Like, that's crazy. Cause I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be with a chick that looked like that. He must be broke. He must not get women, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they'll look at him a certain type of way. Now, this doesn't mean that they are going to like shit on him or hate him or nothing like that, but they're not going to admire him at all. And when it comes down to it, that's one of the things. And just let me illustrate this for you a little bit further. When you were in your 20s, when you were in your teen years and stuff like that, if a dude, if your man's hit a bad chick, you congratulate him. Like a chick that everybody been trying to hit and nobody could get him and stuff like that. It's like you like, yo, the good shit. Oh, you the man. And that's another thing. If a dude is running through a lot of chicks and the chicks be quality chicks and stuff, oh, you the man. If a dude can constantly have a bunch of chicks coming through and stuff like that, and he can cycle them in, and he always got too many, oh, you the man. And this is the thing about the you the man shit. That validation from other men continues to fuel men in their confidence, in their esteem and everything. And it makes them want to be into that identity more as far as a bitch getting dude. That's just what it is. Now, this is the thing. Like, you might have listened to all, because we ain't even get to women yet. You might listen to all this and say, man, this sounds childish. This sounds juvenile. This sounds ridiculous. This is only guys in their 20s. This is how it really is. I don't know where you guys are from, what you guys got going on, but I've been in all types of places. In my 20s, I knew 40-year-olds on this type of time. I'm in my 30s and I know 40-year-olds on this type of time. I know white guys who have nothing to do with no black people who be on this type of time. I know, of course, a bunch of black people be on, like, I already know that. But this is universal. The stuff that I'm talking about is universal. I said Dan Bilzerian earlier, and he's a perfect example of this, but you may have some people who hate Dan Bilzerian and stuff like that, etc. as well. But even if you think about a guy that you know in real life who is a super player who get all the girls, or a guy who gets a lot of money, he's typically going to be admired by other guys, and that's just what it is. Don't let him have both. And I'm not saying to seek admiration, but if you wonder why admiration from other men matters at all, it can get you favors, it can get you friends, it can build your network, it can get you opportunities to where you don't even have to work for those opportunities just because you're a favorite. And even then, at the bare minimum, something that I already mentioned, that validation can help your confidence and your self-esteem and things of that nature. That's just what it is, man. We not about the bullshit. Let's get to the other side. No, I'm not even gonna go deep on this because I got a whole channel pretty much dedicated to topics surrounding women and money and things of that nature. So let's keep it very simple. When it comes to how women value men, they value their money. Let's just get that out the way. Do I even got to explain that? I'll explain it very briefly. If a guy has a lot of money and she sees that a guy has a lot of money, that can provide fun, that can provide experiences, that can provide security, that can provide all types of stuff for her. The key word is provide. If his money comes with some form of status, that is also a bonus. I will give you a great example. If he is somebody like Metro Boomin and he is a producer, a music producer, the fact that he has money is great. But being with Metro Boomin at any capacity can get you around more rappers. If you make music, you could possibly get on a beat. And look, the chick could have no actual hope of getting on a beat. But that thing, if it's in the back of her mind, she will fuck with him because of that. So boom, we get that out the way. The next thing is guys getting girls. getting bitches. If a guy is air quote pre-selected, that's the word, and a lot of women want him, that makes other women want him as well. That's just how it works because they are hive minded, that herd minded, whatever you want to call it. That is how they are. Now, on the flip side of all of that, if you don't have money, if you don't have any money, even if you are attractive, that can be a detriment to some extent. That can be a detriment to some extent. That could make a chick think twice in some cases. I'll give a great example. If you were in a city that is not New York, someplace where the public transit is not that great, and you have no car, and you also live with your parents or something like that, and you were 33, and we'll throw a bonus in, you work at someplace like Shake Shack or some shit. A woman might find you attractive, but as she begins to ask questions and figure these things out, and this is the lifestyle you have, some of those things can stop a conversation cold. That's just what it is. And the reason is because when it comes to the attraction, it's not high enough by itself in the first place. And also those things can take away attraction. Those, like if she asks those questions and you give those answers, like, oh, I don't have a car and I work at Shake Shack. Oh, I don't got my own, like that all can hurt you. That all can hurt you for different reasons. It's not an ideal situation for a chick. Now, when we get past that and we go to the bitches, with this is not about if you're not pre-selected or something like that and you don't got a bunch of bitches. What it comes down to is, are women repulsed by you? If women are repulsed by you, just like how women want, the one guy and that makes more women want them. If women are repulsed by you and other women find out, they're going to inherently be repulsed by you as well. They're going to latch on to that same reputation and things of that nature. Now, as far as what I think about both of these, the women's stuff is self-explanatory. It's something that all men have to come to grips to and face at some point in their life. It is what it is. That's just how the game is. That's how things work. And even then, I talk about that in depth on my channel in a bunch of different videos and stuff like that. So if you just scroll through my catalog, if you really want to know how I feel when it comes to that. But when you look at the man side of things, as far as the admiration and things like that, it's funny to me because, when it comes to a broke guy or a guy that don't get babes or something like that, I can't say that they universally get made fun of most of the times and stuff like that. Yeah, in school, some dudes did get made fun of for not getting no bitches and stuff. That shit don't really go on when you hit 20 or nothing like that. I don't really see cats like making jokes like that and really getting on dudes like that or nothing like that. Like they will, but it's all like on some funny shit because we know the guy actually do get bitches, but it's like, it's just some funny stuff to do, I guess, But listen, I think the admiration, when it comes to the admiration, that can really fuck dudes up. And the reason I think it could fuck dudes up as far as like getting bitches specifically is because they make that their whole identity. And when that becomes your identity, you may make bad decisions when it comes to babes. You may waste a lot of time when it comes to just getting babes, and you might even put them over money. You might even put them over money. And even if we look at something money-wise, like, some dudes become cornballs. You become like literal, like you become the Fendi man. And you wearing all this designer, and that really makes who you are. And that shit is weird to me, but listen, do what you want to do, man. Like I didn't say it on this channel. Like I said in the Joe Budden video, certain shit I can't relate to, certain shit I don't get. Like, like feeling like somebody else is shitting on me because they got a better car than me next to me at the light. Like, I don't give a fuck what another man drive. Like, I don't give a fuck. But those are ways that these things can detriment a guy. Like, the validation can really make your whole identity, and it can really you know, create some flaws in you, some major flaws. But this is another thing. I just think it's very funny because, the admiration for these two things, it just reinforces, the value that women have for us. And it just reinforces, this is all you are worth. We talk all this Zen shit. We talk all this stoicism shit. We talk all this philosophy, mental health shit. We talk about, find your purpose. We talk about all this shit, right? We talk about all this shit as far as how you were supposed to transcend as a man, how you supposed to get your mental right, taking cold showers and all this shit. That's the real shit. That's the spiritual shit. That's really gonna like get you somewhere else, like inside yourself. But when it comes to the world, it is really that simple. It's really that simple. Like, it's really that simple. When it comes to most people, you're going to be valued and perceived a certain way based on, how much money you make, and if you got bitches and how many bitches you got, and if you're fucking a lot, and if you're fucking these bitches good, and if you got a wife or you got a girlfriend. Like, you're going to be judged by these things. No matter how many cold showers you take, no matter how much meditation you do, you could not give a fuck, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, this admiration and the things that men place value on, it just reinforces that, yeah, this is also what makes you valuable to women, and this is what makes you valuable as a man. It's just what it is. Not if you can chop a tree down, not if you can mow a lawn, not if you can sing really well, not if you could do 80 push-ups or you the strongest motherfucker in the gym. None of that shit matters more to most people than if you got bitches and if you got money. And that is just something nasty. That's nasty. And I'll be honest, me personally, I don't place a lot of weight on my shoulders as far as getting validation from other people, even though that's what this video is about. And I'm like, listen, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I don't give a fuck about either one of those that much. I give a fuck about it from a standpoint of, I want the money for me in the life that I'm living. I don't even want motherfuckers to know that I got money for real. That's just what it is. That's just me being real. But then when it comes to the other side, like when it comes to the babes, I'm a low key dude. In real life, I'm a low key dude. I'm not trying to be flashy. I'm not trying to be seen. I'm not trying to let everybody know who I'm fucking. So as far as me, I don't feed off validation about getting money. Like, that's not what makes me personally. I can't speak to you. I can't speak, but what I can say is, for some people, that's what makes their identity. And this is like a thing all around the planet. This is not just no American shit. This is not just some local shit. This is universal. I mentioned Dan Bilzerian several times, like Andrew Tate several times. That's like a big chunk of their identity. If you take away the money and you take away the bitches, what, like, just really think about that. What are you left with as far, like, do you think they have a quarter of the admiration from men that they get? No. And I'm gonna leave it there, man. That's just what it is, man. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts. This is just real. It just is what it is. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out.